Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm Sam Dindi, a co-founder of Mazingira organization. This it's an organization that's based in Nairobi and runs a number of projects or programs, usually centered on three areas. One of them being environment and education, community mobilization and training, and ecosystem restoration. I hope that this talk that I'm going to give to you will be of great benefit in your initiatives that you may want to undertake going forward. Welcome and enjoy. So the talk today is on steps of running an impact project with communities using the little available resources that you have. And to begin with, I usually advise people that you should first of all identify a challenge around your home in the field of study or work environment that you believe that needs to be addressed. It doesn't have to be very as well. What are the environmental challenges that you have? And do you think that it deserves your attention to be addressed? Then thereafter, you need to consult the community about the challenge and do a thorough preliminary study on the subject. In that, you need to be the problem that you are seeing. It could not be a problem to someone else. So whatever you are seeing and what the community sees, they need to be in sync in order to go forward. Let's say, for example, you've identified maybe there's a dump site somewhere. To you, it could be a problem, but maybe to someone else, it could be a temporary dump site that needs to be moved. So when it's moved away, then the problem could have been solved. So you need to look at the challenge. I don't like calling them problems, but they are challenges. You need to look at the challenge from a very deeper perspective, do a preliminary research about the subject, and consult the community on how it affects them. How does it affect them? And have they ever tried to address the problem? Then from there, you'll be able to see the way forward. Now, after consulting the community, maybe now the two parties, you and the community, are in sync, you need to have something called a human-centered design towards addressing the problem. In that, let the solutions of this challenge, let it come from the community itself. It should not be you. The era of you being of people being messiahs of this world is long overdue. It has been overtaken by events. So we need to have a bottom-up approach in addressing some of these issues. So through a human-centered design, we'll be able to discuss with the community on the most innovative way of addressing these challenges, learn from them, and equally they should learn from you. Try to understand what kind of resources do they have in regard to addressing this challenge, and what kind of resources may you be having to bring it in order to better address this challenge. So after having a human-centered design, you can do it. You can pick people randomly, like even like from each strata, you can pick the youth, the age, the women, so that you have a bigger perspective. So after conducting such a forum with them, then you'll be able to understand how to best address this issue. Now, after conducting the human-centered design, you'll have understood this challenge more comprehensively, and now you need to start executing the initiative. First of all, you need to, like in economics, they usually say that you should never say that I don't have any resource. the resources are there, but they're inadequate. But they're inadequate. So you may be having a shilling. You may be having, there's something that the community might have and you might have to kickstart off the project. So you'll do an assessment. Maybe, for example, you want to in your estate, or you like to work on your river in your village. So first of all, you do an assessment. Someone may say, okay, I have a plow. We've got a youth group consisting of this number of young people, so you can be able to offer our services. There's some key things that these people will bring on the table. So after these people have brought in what they have on the table, also from your side, there's something that you'll be having. You also bring on the table, merge the two together, see what have you been able to gather. Then the deficit is when you can go out and seek from partners, well-wishers, friends, because no one wants to support you when there's nothing being done on the ground. People fear to start from scratch. They want to start from somewhere. And that starting from somewhere is what we all need to do. Yeah. The drive for funds is driving people crazy, but it should not be the motivation. All of us have got something that we can offer. So the deficit can be found from your friends, from your relatives, from donors, from investors, from the government, from whoever, whatever they can then bring on board. Then it will be of great help in ensuring the perpetuity of the program. The program moves on its sustainability, and everything will work out well. But it should work out. It should be a step-by-step thing. Don't rush. Don't dream so big. Start small, and as you strategically plan yourself in ensuring the project is a success and it works out well. So after you've mobilized the resources, the project has kicked in, then I believe in celebrating all forms of success. Success should not be you've been able to save the whole earth or something, but the little step that you do should celebrate. A case in point that I have is Dindi wetland. In 2018 February we did celebrate. I and a friend called Samuel Moria, we did organize a wild wetland day celebration in Kikuyu. This Ondiri wetland is a peatland bog, and it forms one of the headwaters of Nairobi water. One of the many streams that forms the sources of Nairobi water comes from Ondiri wetland. And this particular wetland had been completely neglected because it was going down the drain. The wetland vegetation was getting burnt. The trees were being cut down. So when we came in and did the World Wetland Day celebration, very many people came in, including the MP for Kikuyu, Honorable Shugwa, and many other people. So since then, people started having the interest about this wetland. What is so good about this wetland that people are coming in to protect it? What can we do? And I'm happy to note that ever since that time, there has been no fire reported in Ondiri wetland. People are more conscious about it. There is a very active WhatsApp group that discusses each and every issue regarding this wetland. So people are now more aware. They are now asking what kind of resources can we bring in. The landowners around the wetland are now seeding some ground for trees to be planted. The county government is becoming more interested about it. Honorable Senator, I've forgotten his name. There's a senator, a nominated senator, who is working on having it gazetted. Senator Mwaura is working on the wetland being gazetted. So it all began with a spark, and slowly by slowly, interested parties started coming in. The second one is from Green Solutions in Korogosho. It's a group of was a group of most of them used to be gangsters. The ladies were into prostitution, but they had a very keen interest on what they can do to restore Nairobi River and the banks along it. So when I met them, they told me that Sam, we need your help. What can we do about it? So I told them, I'll give you whatever that I have. I don't have the resources, but I've got so much knowledge on wetlands and stuff. Let us start from there. So I did train them on wetland, on riparian ecosystem restoration, things to do with the wetland, and looking so enthusiastically the message and the training. It was a training spread over 3 weeks, and I saw a real transformation with them. They embraced it positively. Whatever they learned, they went and applied it practically on the ground. They've been teaching other people about it, and today they're a success. They can. I don't have to be in Korokoshe field. They just consult me on some few technical issues, but they can stand on their own. They were able to use the little resources that they have in developing this park. I contributed the resources that I have, and through that, many other partners have been coming in to support them in very many ways. Like currently, they've got a vegetable garden doing well. They have got a car wash. They have got. They are planning to. They are planning to start a poultry farm. Many other things. So it all begins from somewhere. We need to just to believe in ourselves that we have something little that, and the little that we have is able to attract the more funds that we have. Let us concentrate on the impact first. Let us concentrate on the people and not the money. From the people, if the people are happy, then other things will follow. This is our current program that we are doing, the restoration of River Motoine, Ngong in Kibra. The river is around 10 kilometers. So when we went there in October 2019, it was the river was no longer a river. It was like a garden, because you could literally walk on top of the river and you couldn't sink. So the first things first that we did there, we have been working with nearly 150 young people from Kibra, from all over Kibra, from Kianda, going all the way to Maranatha, Sumundogo, Lindi, up to the dam itself. And these 110 young people, they were trained on riparian ecosystem restoration. They were trained on how to develop good businesses and to become more environmentally conscious and to love the resources that they have around them. So right now, the river may not be 100% perfect, but nearly 300 tons of waste are removed from the river. The river is now flowing. People are now more conscious about the river. They used to call it Mtaro or Adoni Chane, but now they call it a river. They were even surprised to know that this river is called River Ngong, and one of the tributaries is called Motoine, and the other one is called Karanja. It was something, but now they took it so positively. So from these 110 young people, we have seen them develop businesses like one of them, they are into fashion. They make clothes for acting movies, or clothes for using music videos, and they get it from the river. It's the way they do it so nicely. There's another group that they're making briquettes from charcoal dust and waste carton. There's another group that they're into painting. They do very educative painting. Like right now, they're doing a painting on coronavirus to educate the community. So all of them, they've been economically empowered. They are more informed about it. Kibra is changing. Kibra is changing. God willing, if all goes according to plan, by December this year, Kibra will not be the same again, because the river will be flowing so well. The sewers will have been repaired. People will be dignified toilets. There will be our dignified abolition blocks to be able to carry a number of people. I think it has begun. But again, for Kibra's story, it all began with an idea. I told my friends, partners, that Kibra is a difficult place to go, but I believe there is hope. Where people are running away is where I want to go. I want to bring that change. And 7 months later, I can profess that there is change. It's changing. And it's something that if it works out well, it's a program that can be replicated across the whole world, most especially in informal settlements that are very congested. Can come and learn from it on how it has been done and can to be replicated elsewhere for success to happen. Mazingira magazine is something that had begun in around 2012, but it's an idea that came about when I was still in college. I remember starting it as a blog. It was called Mazingira magazine, mazingiretu.blogspot.com. So after college, I was at home visiting some schools around the neighborhood there. So the kids were asking me and teachers, do you have a publication that you can share with us, an environmental publication? So I said, yeah, I think I can develop one. So in 2012, began like with around just like a small leaflet, 4 pages. I and my colleague, the graphic designer, I was the environmental specialist, looking for stories, publishing the stories. And in the 8 years, the publication has grown from 4 pages to around 40 pages now. The readers are spread across Africa and in the whole world. It has featured stories from very many people from Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Nigeria, Zambia, Somalia. So these small environmental grassroots stories that have been featured in the magazine, and their stories have been highlighted in the world. Some people have received grants from it. Some people have received donor support from it. Some people's the networking has helped to open up everyone. I've seen transformation. The stories I written in the magazine, I've seen lives changing. And again, it comes back to this. I believe that had I not thought of developing the magazine, then yeah. So the little step that we did has been able to bring so many people on board. Korogosho guys in Nairobi, for example, there are so many. I can't remember the number of people that the magazine has worked with along the years. They are going to 100 plus, and in each edition. So just believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. Is that little that you have? The little that you have, when you put it into action, then the other support that you want will come in. People will say, no, there is a grant proposal here, kindly submit a proposal there. Someone will say there's a company somewhere here which can support your work. There's some well-wishers among your friends. There are companies. So let's begin with the little that you have and see the change. The Rhino Conservation Award was a program that we were doing called Music and Conservation Program, whereby we were trying to nurture artists from. We did nurture around 13 artists from Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda and Tanzania on environmental conservation themed music, because it used to be funny. You're attending an environmental based activity and the kind of songs that are playing there are contradicting. That's something else. So we were thinking, we've got a lot of content in the field of environment. Why can't we do something about it? So we got this artist, like this particular artist called Amisi Mbuya. He was an orphan from Tana River. He came to Nairobi to look for a living, but things are not working out. So we had an event somewhere. He came in there, phone, people loved him. So we were like, we don't have the money to pay you back, but we can hold your hand, see how we can mentor you, and see how your doors will work out. So he was an obedient guy. He was down to earth. He was a go-getter, hard work. So we did with him around 5 songs on elephants, on lions, on rhinos. As just the basic message was educating people the value of these creatures, why they should be protected, the challenges that they're facing. So one of these songs was called Kifaru Twakupenda, We Love Our Rhinos. The song was seconded by KWS, a rhino program. So it went to South Africa, and fortunately, it won an award. It won a gold prize. It was the best youth initiative in Africa that is engaging the community in educating them on the value of why rhinos should be protected. So Hamisi Buya or Samchizi won this award, and it has catapulted his career. So after the award is now on his own. He's no longer that orphan full of self-pity. He's now, watch him on TV, listen to him on radio, feel it's a success. So it began from somewhere. And over the years, the program ended, but other artists have come up. Like this year again, when you were doing the program of Clean Up in Kibra, we met a young guy who could sing. He did a song called Mazingira, just educating people on the challenges of plastic pollution in our rivers, what we can do to restore our rivers, what we can do to address waste management in our homes. And I believe after this coronavirus, the song will play more and it will be more successful. So again, as I said before, how do you attract funds? Attracting funds we need to just start with the little that you have. You may be talented in singing, you may be an artist, you may be a good graphic designer, you may be an orator, a writer. Start from where you are. Then from where you are, someone will notice the potential in you and they'll invest in you. Then from there, things will pick up well. And lastly, Ifaru Primary School is a school founded in Umoja 2. It's in the eastlands of Nairobi. So I came across this school. The name itself just attracted me to the school. That was back in 2013. And we've been working with these schools ever since. The teachers have been very supportive. The head teacher has been very supportive. The environment club has been superb. Like we had a young lady back in 2016. She's the one in charge of the environment club, and she was super. She could talk about climate change like someone who has a PhD. And through one of our supporters, we informed her that this lady in her KCP, 2016 KCP, she emerged to be the second best student among public schools in Nairobi. So this donor supported her with a partial scholarship to Pankari Girls High School. And last year, the lady called me and said that, oh, Teacher Sam, I got an A in my KCSE exams. You can imagine the kind of joy that I felt. This from down there, I met her when she was in Standard 6. Now she's getting an A. Her career will blossom. And currently, there's another young boy that we have again observed. He is equally very bright, and his future again will be wonderful. So, Faru Primary School is a school that I think how they are working with the students and teachers is something that should be replicated elsewhere. Students should be given the freedom to share what they have without being intimidated. They should be given freedom to be innovative. They should, and the teachers should support them very well. So Ifaru is a school that has been a great success in our programs, and I would recommend people to visit the school if you get time. And last but not least, challenges. You know, I may think that I'm giving a very rosy stories, but the challenges are enormous. Just over the years, I've just learned you need to have a very thick skin. I think that a skin as thick as as a pangolin or even an elephant skin is not hard enough, because an elephant is very sensitive. But you should have an armor, because working with the community is tough. First of all, we find the community, people are ignorant about a particular resource, and mostly the learned are the most difficult, because they feel they know everything and there's nothing you can tell them, and whatever they say is believed by the community, and it makes your work very difficult. So sometimes ignorance is rife. Like, for example, you clean a stretch of a river and someone comes behind you with with lots of waste, and they just pour it behind you and ask, why are you doing it? They ask you that this river does not belong to you or does not belong to me. Such kind of an answer can really make you angry or can make you give up, but giving up has never been a solution. So how do you address such ignorance in the community? So whatever that you're doing, such kind of people, they bring you back to earth. Sometimes we forget about what you're doing, but such kind of ignorant people, they bring you back to earth, and they teach you on how you should tailor make your program so that such kind of cases are addressed. Because if such ignorance is not addressed in whatever that you're doing, it will be all in vain. Then the other challenge that I've faced is some of this they need an address. Maybe we need to work with government or the county government or some sort of agency in your country, and you may find these challenges they cut across so many ministries. You find maybe the sewer line is maybe done with the Ministry of Sanitation. There's the roads, the public works. There's the environment department. There's the health department. So you need to work with all of them in order to best address this issue. But again, accessing all these departments is a tussle and it's difficult. So you may find some other departments are working well with you. Others, it's a chat I've observed along the way. Then, lastly, you may find there's interference for people. There are people who are just anti-development. They prefer the status quo, things to remain that way. They thrive in chaos. So when you come to disturb their chaos, then they may retaliate in a very negative way, even harming your life. So sometimes I usually say when working on some of these things, you need to be careful. You need to also to love yourself. You need to know where to push, when to retreat. You need to be very careful. So such kind of people are there. No matter how noble your initiative is, they definitely will find people who will want to interfere with what you're doing for the status quo to remain, so that only a few people benefit, but the rest of the community do suffer. It's like they say that in the land of the blind, a one-eyed man is the king. So it's the same scenario. My friend, in that particular place, there's one person who has who's a bit rich compared to the rest of the community who are a bit poor. So all the poor people look upon him. So he knows or she knows that when these poor are empowered, their status of income will change. And if it change, they will not be looking upon him. So he won't be much valued, he'll be useless. So he'll work very hard to frustrate you. So those are the challenges that we do face or have faced before, but I've learned to develop a thick skin, circumnavigate around it, see what to do, talk to these people, or trying to use other methods so that the project may go on, the person may embrace and become the change that we all want for everything to work out well. To conclude, I usually there's a certain proverb that I came across some years back. A Tibetan proverb says that an ant with a stout heart can lift an elephant. To me, all of us, we may feel helpless, but you're the ants. You've got the zeal, the determination, the knowledge. We all yearn for that change. And the elephant in the room are this challenge that you have. How do we fund our programs? How do we ensure our program is successful? How do we ensure that the little that I do can be able to transform lives in our community? But something fun is that all of us are resilient. We've got this stout heart that believing in ourselves that this elephant is like a toothpick or something, a small stone. We cannot fail to lift it up. So all I'm saying is that let not the challenge before you discourage you. Let not this issue of I don't have funds, I don't have anything, deter you. Start from somewhere. Just start, and then everything will fall in place. Just don't fear to start. That's my cry. Because if all of us fear to start, then we are going to be stuck. And how will the future judge us? How will your kids judge you? Will they say, Dad or Mom, you are a coward. You failed to address this child. Now see the way you are suffering. Because I've seen somewhere by problems that were failed to address, or the challenges that were not addressed 10 years ago, they are haunting kids today. Yeah, maybe the issue of drugs, so the problem was not, if the problem was addressed 10 years ago, we wouldn't be facing the challenges today. Yeah, for example, if these young people who are studying somewhere were skilled, were given a skill before, then the level of insecurity today will be down. So start now. Don't go for fame. Don't go for, people right now, people are obsessed with fame. You want to have a million Twitter followers. You want to trend. You want to let know those things be what pulls you to work. They may frustrate you so much. Just concentrate. If your passion is in transforming people's lives, protecting the environment, concentrate on that. It feels more good to see a tree growing, and the tree offers shade to the people. It offers medicine to the people and home to birds and squirrels. I think that's the biggest success than these issues of fame and everything, because those things are temporary. Today you are famous, still someone else will come up, will be forgotten, and so I believe let's go for fame. So as I reiterate again, let us remember this proverb: an ant with a stout heart can lift an elephant. You can follow my work or what I do on Twitter. Go to @Mazingira Yetu, or go to Facebook. You'll find me at Sam Dindi, or at Mazingira Yetu Magazine, or Mazingira Yetu, whichever way. You'll see what you are doing. You learn a lot from it. If you've got any query, reach out. I'll share with you the little piece of advice that I have in ensuring that whatever you are doing works out. Asanteni, thank you, merci. Thanks a lot.